Interesting.
Bonjour, Ernie.
Pushing a button to transform your car into a plane? Learning together can be super cool, so let's do it!
The Bogdanoff twins were born on the 29th of August 1949 in southern France. Their father was a painter and is said to be the descendant of a Russian prince, and their mother was part of the Central European nobility. Their grandmother on their mother's side was married to a member of the Austrian princely house, but was divorced and banished from the upper classes when she had an affair with a black American tenor singer named Roland Hayes, who came to town and impregnated her. This child was the twins' mother. Their grandmother had access to her other 4 children taken away from her, as well as her family homes in Berlin and Prague because of this transgression. She did try and keep the relationship going with Hayes and went on a 3-year tour with him. It's a little unclear what happened next, but she ended up in a castle in France where she acted as a translator for the Germans in the Second World War, but also claims that she sheltered Jews, and Hayes ended up back in America. Again, it's a little unclear how their mother and father first met, with the twins claiming that their father was introduced to their mother by a famous writer, while others say that he was a farmhand employed by their grandmother to work at their castle. I don't know what the truth is. It does seem that their grandmother chased away their father as they didn't see him for the first 10 years of their life. The twins grew up under the care of their grandmother in their castle and claimed that they were childhood geniuses with an IQ of 190. For context, Albert Einstein's IQ was around 160, so maybe these claims should be taken with a pinch of salt, and as we'll see later, they do seem to overstate their levels of intelligence. That being said, the twins were no dummies, and they had access to thousands of books in their childhood castle and had personal tutors growing up. These luxuries gave the twins the opportunity to learn French, English, German and Russian, play many musical instruments, plus pilot aeroplanes and helicopters. The pair rose to fame in France in the 1980s when they presented a TV show named Time X. This was a show about real and fantasy science and saw the twins dressed in silver spacesuits and talking from the deck of a spaceship. The spaceship wasn't real. The show was pretty ahead of its time, predicting gene editing and the internet when these things were just pipe dreams. The show was a smash hit and the twins became heartthrobs in France. Time X ran between 1979 and 1989. After Time X ended, the pair went on to host a few other TV programs but could never recapture the success that they once had, so they moved away from TV and became authors. They wrote many books about sciencey stuff, such as what they thought the last days of the dinosaurs might be like and what they thought the time before the Big Bang was like. The twins clearly loved science, and soon they would move away from the media altogether and focus on getting PhDs. They started this at the age of 41. The pair had a tough time in the science world, with their books being mocked for basic mistakes, and one of their supervisors on the road to getting a PhD saying this about the twins: they are stubborn wonder kids with a very high IQ but are prone to shoot themselves in the foot with vague statements and an impressionistic style. The twins' work focused on the moments before the Big Bang and was not very well regarded. After many years of work, the pair got their PhDs. Well, not really, I guess. Gretschka did pass, but with the lowest grade possible, and was forced to change his PhD from physics to maths, and Igor didn't pass, but was told that if he managed to get his work published in 3 scientific journals, then he could have his PhD. So, the pair set to work, and Igor was published in 5 scientific journals. He was given his PhD in 2002 at the age of 53. After a year had passed, a man named Max... whatever that says, Niedermeyer, noticed the papers and began to question the information written inside them. He noticed that they were all written by the brothers and contained pretty basic mistakes, so he began to email his peers claiming that the twins had conned their way to a PhD. This soon spread like gonorrhea in a brothel, and soon the twins' work was being ripped apart by the scientific community for not making any sense and using technical jargon to cover up their lack of understanding. I'm not going to pretend like I understand a lot of these claims, but the long and short of it is that most people thought that this was some kind of hoax, as the papers were so wrong that the twins must be trolling the peer review review system. The twins denied that this was a hoax and were confused why their papers were received so poorly. This event became known as the Bogdanoff affair and highlighted how the peer review system could be gamed if you just sounded like you knew what you were talking about. So there's a few odd twists to this story, the first being Dr. Yang. A guy named Dr. Yang began to contact scientists involved in the Bogdanoff affair, claiming that he worked at a Hong Kong university and that he agreed with the Bogdanoff's conclusions. The scientists, being, well, scientists, did a little research and discovered that not only did Dr. Yang not work at the university, but the department that he claimed to work for didn't even exist. They also tracked his IP address, which surprisingly was not in Hong Kong but was in France. When confronted with this, the twins cleverly claimed that Dr. Yang was staying with them in France, which is why the IP address was not in Hong Kong. I'm sure this tricked these highly intelligent scientists. It appears that this kind of thing is pretty common in the Bogdanoff story, with many fake accounts being used by them to defend their work against criticism. In fact, they used so many fake accounts to paint themselves in a positive light that they ended up getting banned from Wikipedia for continuously editing their own page to take away anything negative. In 2002, a French man posted an early edit of Gretschke's thesis in a mocking manner. The post got 62 views in total. In 2011, the twins took this man to court for a copyright infringement and won. The man was ordered to pay €1 to the twins as a token of his guilt. The twins are no strangers to the court system, so let's take a brief look at some of their court cases. In 2004, they sued a French magazine for defamation, but the case was dismissed as the twins just couldn't be bothered to turn up to their own court case. They were ordered to pay the magazine €2,500 to cover the court costs. In 2014, they took another French magazine to court for defamation, and this time they turned up and won the case, with damages of €64,000 being paid to the twins. In 2015, they sued another French magazine, but lost this case and had to pay €2,000 to the magazine. And in 2018, they were taken to court by an anonymous millionaire who had given them €800,000 to restart the famous Time X program. But as this never happened, he felt that he had been conned by the twins. This millionaire unsubscribed himself from Life before the court case, so the charges were dropped. Another little detail that isn't really important, I guess, but I found interesting, is that after the twins got their PhDs, they both went on to become professors at Megatrend University in Belgrade. This is the man that hired them. He is also the owner of the university. Well, it turns out that this man lied about having a PhD and had to resign, and it also turns out that the university itself is nothing but a degree mill where diplomas can be obtained for cash. One of the great minds that got their doctorates from this university was none other than Colonel Gaddafi.
Pushing a button to transform your car into a plane, your dog will bark or growl or make some noises. The necklace will understand exactly what's happening and will transform the signals that he will analyze into a natural language. Grishka and I, we collected many of those technological marvels in various laboratories spread all over the world.
A big part of the Bogdanoff story is the way that they look. The twins claim that they have never had any plastic surgery, and when asked about the way that they look, are quoted to say, "We're experimental by nature and have tried many advanced technologies." I'm not really sure what that means, to be honest. They are also quoted to say, "We are proud of having faces like extraterrestrials." So it seems they are not too bothered about the ridicule that they seem to get online about their faces. The changes to their facial features started in the 90s after Time X ended and has continued to become more extreme over the years. Some say that they may have a hormone disorder, so that they produce too much growth hormone, while a family friend has stated that they have had chin and cheek implants plus Botox and lip filler. Honestly, I don't know, but I would guess it's plastic surgery. Make your own minds up. Here's a woman who's had similar plastic surgery, and here's a man with the hormone disorder. The way that they look hasn't stopped them from rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous, and they can be seen with all kinds of well-known people and seem to be part of the upper echelons of society. They also seem to do okay in the love department, with Igor having 6 children and being married a few times, once to a descendant of French royalty, but it doesn't look like Gretschke had any kids or was ever married. The pair did say that they sometimes fall in love with the same person.
D'un pit. D'un pitaga. Endaga.
I first stumbled across the Bogdanoffs through memes and videos about crypto trading. In these videos, they were all powerful beings that ruled the world from the shadows and used the power to make the main characters' crypto trades fail.
What is the price of Bitcoin now?
Sir, it has fallen 30%.
Dump it.
Yes.
Bogdanov, he did it.
Il bort.
He went all in.
D'un pit.
This meme started life on Reddit when a user posted about the way that they look. Then 4chan got a hold of it, and in true 4chan style, a load of crazy theories began to pop up about how they have large amounts of influence over French politics. This soon bounced back to Reddit, and soon threads on how they were in contact with aliens, had psychic abilities, controlled banks worldwide, and were the Rothschilds' puppet masters began to gain popularity. Once you have realized this truth and your eyes have been truly opened, you have taken the bOg pill. Bogdanov. This is all light-hearted, tongue-in-cheek stuff, and I don't think anyone really believes this, but given their family history and odd looks, it's not hard to see why these memes have sprung to life. On the topic of crypto trading, I did find an odd claim that the twins made. So they claim to have been involved in the creation of the Bitcoin source code and claim that they have been given 2 ancient Bitcoins from when it was first invented. This was said in French, so I'm unsure if this is a joke or not. They were aware of the meme at this stage, so maybe they were just leaning into the joke. They also claim to have predicted cryptocurrencies back in 1982 on Time X, and that the inventor of Bitcoin is probably responsible for the meme becoming so popular as some kind of in-joke between the two of them, or 3 of them.
They say that in 3 years we will be able to build a quantum computer with and that's important, with 50 qubits.
One of the last things that the twins did was appear on a French TV show named The Masked Singer dressed as parrots. So yeah, I bet that's something you never thought you'd see when you woke up this morning. I quite like the Bogdanoff twins. They are eccentric weirdos and have the faces of a melted action figure, but they seem nice enough. My professional opinion on the twins, and please remember that I am some guy on the internet, so you should believe what I am about to say 100% without question, as people on the internet are never wrong. The Bogdanoffs seem to be deeply insecure, which is so often the case with people that are overly outwardly confident. If you feel the need to make up fake accounts to defend your ideas, then this is probably a sign that you're insecure about your ideas. And if you feel the need to change your face, then again this is probably a sign that you're insecure about your looks. The reason for this insecurity is most likely very complex. Maybe being born into such a rich family and having achieved all of the success that they have has created imposter syndrome. Or maybe being born to an outcast mother who was born the love child of a black singer in European aristocracy created some kind of inferiority complex. Or maybe they're insecure because they're aliens wearing fucking human skin. What the fuck do I know? And why are you watching some dickhead on the internet talking about weird looking Frenchmen? Go outside and smell a fucking flower. Go on, fuck off. Please don't leave me. I was only joking. Whether they're insecure or not, I have no idea. They did seem to take the memes and the comments about the way they look in good spirits, so maybe not. If they did get plastic surgery, I do find it odd that they both got the same kind of work at the same time. Like, did one of them just decide that his chin wasn't big enough and the other one went along with it so they could stay identical? Or did they both talk about it and thought it would be a good idea to make their cheeks and chins look this way? Or Maybe it was just a 4D chess move so that they remain relevant, which seems to have worked as a dumbass like me is still making videos about them. Maybe they do have 190 IQ. Sadly, the twins both died at the end of 2021 due to COVID. Gretchen died on the 28th of December, and 6 days later Igor died in the same hospital. In a poetic twist of fate, the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies fell around the time that the twins died and still hasn't recovered.
Dump it.
Learning together can be super cool, so let's do it!
Thanks for watching. Watch this video about a crazy Japanese lady if you like this one, and bye bye.
C'est vous, c'est votre frère. Ah,